Welcome to the Power Bank Expert YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing about the rules and regulations of bringing power banks on flights. As you may already know, there are some restrictions in regards to batteries in general when it comes to bringing them on flights, and also power banks in particular. This is due to the fact that lithium-ion batteries, which are the most common batteries used today, can be quite unpredictable. So sometimes they can catch on fire, or even in very rare cases they can even explode. And this has led to some accidents in different airlines, and for this reason there have been some rules set in place in order for these accidents to be avoided in the future. So the first rule you should know is the fact that you can only take power banks in your carry-on luggage only. You cannot leave your power banks in your checked-in luggage. This is because if an unfortunate event happens and the power bank causes a fire, let's say, it is much better to have this fire in the passengers area than in the luggage area, because the flight attendant crew can take measures to put the fire out before it gets out of hand. Whereas if it would to happen in the luggage area, then there would be no chance of putting it out, and the plane might even crash because of it. So this is the main reason why they are enforcing a rule of taking power banks and any other similar batteries in your carry-on luggage only. Next, you should be aware of the fact that there is a maximum allowed capacity for any power bank that you will take on a flight, and that maximum capacity is 100 watt-hour. Now this is a little bit different than the average capacity we're used to, which is milliamp hour, or mAh. That is the standard capacity that you would see whenever you will try to buy a power bank, or if you look at the specs of a smartphone battery. It's mostly a milliamp hour. However, capacity can also be stated in watt-hour. It's basically a different way of describing the capacity. And the equivalent, let's say, of 100 watt-hour, which is the maximum capacity you're allowed to take on a plane, is 27,000 milliamp hour in that area. So, for example, I have here today two different power banks. And this one from Rough Power has a capacity of 5,000 milliamp hour if we are to look on the back. So the 5,000 milliamp hour is way under the, let's say, 27,000 milliamp hour limit, which means that this kind of power banks you can take with you without a worry. So you can take them always on a flight. This other power bank I have with me here today has a capacity of 26,800 milliamp hour, and next to it you can see that the capacity in watt hour is 99. So just 1 watt hour under the limit of 100 watt hour. You could take a power bank that has even 100 watt hour. This limit includes 100 watt hours, so it can be capacity of slightly larger than this. But this is the upper limit of a power bank that you would be able to take with you on a flight. There is also another rule that states that you can take a power bank up to 160 watts hour of power with you, but for that you would need to get some approval prior to the flight from the airline. But if you don't want to get bothered with approvals like that, then you should make sure that any power bank that you have with you during a flight is under 100 watt hour or under 27,000 milliamp hour. And lastly, another thing you might want to be aware of is that it's always a good idea to have the actual capacity printed on the power bank itself. So you see both these power banks that I have here today have their capacity printed on them. So this means that the security can easily see what is the capacity of this power bank. If there isn't any capacity printed on your power bank, in some cases, which I think they are very rare, but you should be aware of them, in some cases the security might decide to confiscate your power bank just because they do not know exactly what the capacity of the battery is. So it's something to keep in mind. Usually most power banks do have the capacity printed on them, but some power banks don't come with that, and in some rare cases you might get them confiscated by the airport security. So if you want to be on the safe side, always travel with a power bank that has its capacity printed on it. So that's it about the subject today. If you want to read more about it, I will put a link in the description to an article with more in-depth information, but overall this is the information you should know before flying with a power bank. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.